Hello, everyone, and welcome to the topic for today. We'll learn what are event loops in JavaScript. We'll touch functionalities like set timeout, discuss promises, and some keywords like async await. We'll do a small demo of a set timeout function, which would reflect the true asynchronous nature of JavaScript. So, without any further ado, let's get started. The topics we'll cover are what is an event loop? Is JavaScript single or multi threaded? Well, I'll give it to you right away. It's a single threaded mechanism. But we see that the websites and the web apps today seem to be running on so many processes at once. That is where the async nature of JavaScript comes into the picture. We'll learn more about that as well. The function setTimeout will be used to demonstrate the event loop and the async nature of JavaScript. And at the end, we will discuss the possibility of handling async requests via promises. First, we'll go into a small demo and then come back to the presentation. Before going through this presentation, the demo is important to check so that we can make sense of the content in the presentation. It's a simple JavaScript code that prints certain simple messages. This will definitely trick our brains to understand what is happening. We'll go through the rest of the presentation then. So let's move on to our demo first. So I have this file async.js and in which it is just a console log statement written hello 1. Now the 1, 2, 3, the sequence are important. So let me just write down a few more and I'll just sequence them like 1, 2, 3. Now let's try and execute this program. Node async.js. We can execute JavaScript in Node.js because it's a JavaScript runtime, obviously. And you see here that there is hello 1, 2, 3 written. As simple as that. Now, for example, if I go for a set timeout somewhere down here, a set timeout function would execute a callback after a specific amount of time. So set timeout. And here I'll go for a callback. It's an arrow function that I'm given. I want this function to be executed after 1 second. All right. So now I'll say console.log hello 0. So now what we are expecting here is console log hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, and after a second, hello 0 would be executed. Let's see if it works that way or not. I'll rerun the program. You see, hello 1, hello 2, hello 3. After 1 second, hello 0 got executed. Now, if I just mention I want hello 0 to be executed at 0 seconds or 0 milliseconds right away, what would that mean as far as the execution of our session? Now, one would think that hello 1, then hello 0, hello 2, and hello 3, that should be the sequence of the output. But let's check what the output is. You see, hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, and hello 0. The output remains the same. Now let's understand why is that happening. Back to our presentation. So what just happened? Why was set timeout executed at the end? Well, because it's an async function, JavaScript is always something that would execute synchronous or predictable calls first and async calls at the end. This is simply because async calls are not predictable. Most of the time, they're even from another server like API calls. After all the current synchronous calls are done, the async calls are executed. The entire process is handled by our event loop. Let's check this diagram, which gives you a conceptual idea on what an event loop might look like. Imagine a train on a circular route. It goes from one station to the other, and then to the other, and then comes back to the same station. Let's say station A. On station A, there are different passengers standing. Some of them are standing on a call stack, synchronous passengers. Some of them are standing on a callback queue, asynchronous passengers. And the priority of the event loop is to take all the passengers in the call stack first, one after the other, and then once the call stack is empty, go for the callback queue. Because those passengers are unpredictable, to be very frank. The train, which is our event loop, doesn't know how much each of them would take to get in. This is how the event loop manages synchronous and asynchronous callbacks. Now, there is a small discussion about promises that we would like to do. The difference between sync and async calls is vast, and executing them is also vastly different. Sync calls are executed in a very straightforward manner, while async calls are a bit tricky to be managed. Promises come to a rescue for that. Promises are mostly used to handle API calls in JavaScript. A technical definition of a promise would be that it's a placeholder of a value that may or may not be available in future. And then there are so many other terms that would come. But if we want to understand it in a very simple manner, it's like an actual promise which may or may not come true in future, like we make to our friend. For example, I promise that I'll go with you for a holiday this summer. Now that promise may or may not be fulfilled in this summer. Promises could be the logical next steps to learn from this point, and then one can learn about async and await keywords. In summary, that timeout and promises are async. Event loop handles asynchronous requests and synchronous code together very well. And this gives us a feel of multi-threaded architecture, while in reality, it is a single-threaded architecture. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.